Hi
Hi
everyone, welcome
everyone,
to
welcome.
another book talk here at Eight Letters Bookstore and Publishing. I'm your host and creative director, Cindy Wong, and with us today is the author of It's Time to Heal, a psychologist's realizations and healing practices inside and outside the psychotherapy room. We have Miss LA with us. Hi, Miss LA.
Hi, Miss Cindy. Hi, everyone who's watching.
Yan. How are you doing naman po?
Excited. Medyo busy kanina kasi preparation tayo ngayon, di ba, para sa ating, itong pinakahihintay na book launch. So, but I'm happy that I can see movement.
Yay, yan. Well, for those of you who are curious, It's Time to Heal is a book, and this is a heartfelt invitation to anyone carrying mental health wounds, written by trauma-informed psychologist and nurse, Miss LA. It offers warmth, wisdom, and practical guidance for those seeking to understand their pain and begin healing. So she's drawing from your clinical Miss LA is drawing from her clinical experience and personal journey as she explores trauma, stigma, and emotional wounds, the body brain connection, and the healing process with clarity and compassion. So she speaks to OFWs, breadwinners, overwhelmed students and professionals, and parents quietly hurting. So I think this is a very, very good book. Whichever stage you are in with your pain, this will definitely help you. Of course, coming from a professional herself, yeah, Miss LA. Miss LA, let's get into the interview proper na. I have several questions for you. Okay. So your book blends your clinical expertise with your personal journey, right? So how did you decide how much of yourself to bring into these pages and what guided that balance between professional insight and personal vulnerability? Ayan, importante yan.
Actually, thinking about that question, um, I think hindi ako nag-hold back dito. Hindi ako nag-hold back in the sense na yung mga personal experiences ko kasi before ako naging clinical practitioner, nakita ko rin na experiences ng mga clients ko ngayon. From students to young professionals to parents and even middle-aged people or even older, ganun din yung mga pinagdadaanan nila. So, actually, it's something na general experience siya ng lahat. Kasi ang mga problema naman talaga natin, ang na-observe ko, iba-iba lang ng itsura, iba-iba ng pinanggalingan, iba-iba ng level or intensity ng pain, pero ang internal motivation nating lahat is pare-pareho. So, nakita ko yung sarili ko na yun din yung pinagdadaanan ko noon na mga pinagdadaanan ng mga clients ko ngayon. So, hindi siya malayo. It's both personal and impersonal. Experiences ko, na experiences din actually ng mga clients ko ngayon. And I believe nararanasan ng lahat ng tao.
It's really good to have someone to talk to who have gone through these experiences themselves because sometimes, 'di ba, sometimes most of the time, if you're speaking with your experiences, mas personal siya kasi napagdaan mo and mafe-feel din 'yon ng taong kausap mo. So you write then that healing is not a privilege. Yeah, I really like this line. It is your destiny. So what experiences or realizations led you to embrace this belief so strongly, and how has it shaped the way you support others?
I'm sure, Miss Cindy, ikaw, nagdaan ka sa isang pagkakataon sa buhay mo na pakiramdam mo kailangan mo ng tulong in whatever way. Tapos parang wala kang makuhang tulong sa paraan na yon. I went
Yes.
through that as well. And nakikita ko na maraming tao na nagdadaan din sa ganong pagkakataon sa buhay nila. No? Yung meron kang kailangan mo ng kausap pero wala kang makausap, or meron kang nakakausap pero parang hindi ka nila naiintindihan, or gusto mong humingi ng tulong pero wala kang resource para humingi ng tulong. For example, pera or oras. Pero madalas pera kasi, no? So yun yung nakita ko na problema ng karamihan, no? Na parang pakiramdam nila they're going through something really difficult in their lives and they really need help. Pero parang wala silang option. Naramdaman ko yon. I was in college when I experienced that. Feeling ko kailangan ko ng psychotherapy during that time. But when I asked or when I looked for help, hindi ko pa kayang bayaran or hindi ko pa afford during nung time na yon. So, but God is gracious. The universe is so gracious because it met me in ways, it helped me in ways na hindi ko ina-expect. For example, it met me through my spiritual community. It met me through exercises. God met me through good relationships with my friends. I was also met through physical activities, which are good for my health. I was also met through the guidance counselors from the college where I was studying. So yung mga paraan na ibinigay na tulong sa akin during that time is different from what I was expecting. But those were enough para ma-sustain ako at matulungan ako sa mga pangangailangan ko during that time. Ang karamihan kasi sa problema ng mga tao natin is that feeling natin or akala natin wala tayong options. Not because wala talaga tayong option, pero kasi hindi natin alam or hindi informed ang mga tao sa mga pwede nilang gawin para sa sarili nila. Na ang daan naman tungo sa paghilom or healing ay hindi lang iisa. Hindi lang through psychiatric consultation, hindi lang through psychological consultation, pero marami pa talaga. And majority of those things are actually free. So, I believe that it's really important that everyone, all the Filipinos, learn about it, na malaman nila kung ano yung mga pwede nilang gawin sa sarili nila.
Parang feeling ko dapat maging part na to ng curriculum ng education, di ba?
I agree. Na alam dapat yan ng mga bata. Totoo yan, Miss Cindy.
Oo.
Although I'm not
Mm.
saying na ito ay replacement sa therapy, ha. Siyempre, magkaiba ng ginagawa doon. Pero, kahit na sabihin natin mag-undergo ka ng psychiatric consultation or therapy, hindi ibig sabihin na yung ibang bagay ay hindi mo nagagawin. Kasi sobrang dami talagang aspects na kailangan natin bigyan ng pansin sa sarili natin if we really want that holistic healing.
I have so many thoughts about this. Kasi nga, sabi ko kanina, parang dapat pala, habang bata pa lang, binibuild na yung mental strength or something like that. Kasi sometimes, at least maging aware man lang sila kung ano yung kailangan nilang gawin. Who to reach out to, etc. Kasi, syempre, stigma pa rin until now, di ba? Itong mental health issues. Miss LA, you speak so compassionately to OFWs, breadwinners, yung mga na-overwhelmed na students, yung mga parents, and many other Filipinos. But what moved you to center these groups specifically? And how have their stories influenced your own understanding of healing? Bakit sila?
Um, Una, Miss Cindy, yung binanggit ko kanina, na pinagdaanan ko rin. Pangalawa, um, ang na-realize ko sa more than half a decade na nagpa-practice ako clinically, majority talaga ng mga Filipinos, hindi pa rin nila afford ang therapy or even psychiatric consultation. Majority ng Filipinos. And ang daming nagko-contact sa akin sa mga social media accounts ko na gustong-gusto nila ng tulong. Pero pag nalaman na nila kung magkano at kung gaano, kung na hindi sigurado kung ilang sessions aabutin, saka sila napapaatras. Nakikita ko yung mga stories minsan. Ang dami nag-share sa akin, no? Through messages. Sinasabi nila yung mga struggles nila. Even kahit sa mga comments, no? Comment threads sa mga posts ko, minsan makikita ko, gustong-gusto niya talaga na magpa-consult. Meron naman siyang pera. Kaso lang meron din siyang 2 pinapaaral na mga kapatid. So, instead na gagastusin niya yon para sa wellness niya, mas kailangan niyang ibigay para sa mga kapamilya niya. Another mga OFWs na nagko-contact sa akin na hindi nila ma-afford na sa ibang bansa sila kasi sobrang mahal ng mental health consultations doon. So, and meron ding mga students. Merong mga students na either meron namang pera yung magulang nila, pero hindi naniniwala yung magulang nila sa mental health. So, instead na humingi sila ng tulong sa parents nila, they'd rather keep quiet than risk being ridiculed by their own families. Meron din namang mga estudyante na hindi sila makapagsabi, not because hindi naniniwala, kundi dahil hindi kaya financially. So, ang isip ko, anong gagawin ko dito sa mga to? Anong paraan na pwede kong gawin? Kasi on my end, as a professional, hindi ko kayang ibigay ng free yung psychotherapy. Bakit? Kasi mabigat na trabaho. Mabigat siya. mabigat siyang trabaho mentally and physically and emotionally. So, anong gagawin ko? Isa na lang ang naiisip ko. Isa na lang talaga ang naiisip ko kasi matagal na, like early in college pa, parang gusto ko nang magsulat ng libro. It's already in my heart to write a book. Hindi ko lang alam kung anong isusulat ko during that time. Nabuo siya sa akin sometime during the pandemic. So, yon, pandemic pa lang, gumagawa na ako ng mga drafts para sa libro na to.
Wow, okay. So, that explains kung bakit nagfo-focus tayo sa those specific groups, 'di ba? So, Miss LA, you also discussed yung body-brain connection in trauma, which is both scientific and deeply human. Pero what part of this connection naman do you wish more people can understand, or especially those who often dismiss their own pain? Yung kaninang sinabi mo na didismiss na lang nila kasi mas importante yung kanilang pinapaaral, mas importante yung pinapadalhan nila ng pera abroad. So 'di ba, medyo nakakalungkot naman talaga. I mean, to be honest with you, like I myself, I have considered it, and yes, siguro dumating sa point na sige magkano, and then it's not really, parang hindi siya necessity for now. 'Di ba? Kahit naman may pera, pero like yun nga, hindi siya it's not because siguro one reason na naisip ko, correct me if I'm wrong, one reason is, okay, maybe it's not about the money, but maybe because hindi sila sure kung gagaling ba sila, or they're looking for an easy way para gumaling.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Actually, Miss Cindy, lahat yung binanggit mo, nakalagay yan dun sa libro. yung reason na parang, totoo ba talaga na may mga emotional or mental health wounds? May mga ganyan eh. Pag kunwari parang, it's easy for us, ngayon na mas nagiging aware na yung mga tao pagdating sa mental health. Ang issue naman is, mas madali sa ating tanggapin kung sa ibang tao, may mental health issue ka, you go ask for help. Pero pag sa atin, may mental health issue ako, parang iba yon, parang hindi madaling tanggapin. Another is, Kasi, syempre, pag may trauma tayo, trauma can really change so much about the person, yung pagtingin natin sa mundo and even the way we treat ourselves. So, minsan, ang trauma, it's also something that prevents us from asking for help, no? Or believing that this is a necessity, no? Na mukhang hindi naman kailangan pa ngayon. Siguro saka na lang pag sobrang hindi ko na talaga kaya. So, maraming nag-iisip ng ganyan. And another thing, yung yung pera talaga, no, kasi another effect ng trauma is that hinuhuli ka nito, no? Nasanay ang tao pag hindi niya pa napaprocess yung kanyang pinagdaanan na nag-cause ng trauma sa kanya. Isa sa mga mensahe nito is hindi ka ganun ka-importante kumpara sa pangangailangan ng iba. Especially sa kultura natin bilang Asians, Filipinos specifically, na collectivistic ang ating kultura, no? Na lagi nating inuuna ang ikabubuti ng nakararami over the individual. So, malalim ang pinanggagalingan nito. Hindi lang yung sa mga personal na pinagdaanan natin, but it's something that's really deeply embedded in the culture. Na hindi man ituro sa'yo verbally or ibigay na aral sa'yo talaga, pero nakikita mo siya, kinalakihan mo siya, nasa DNA natin, no? So, ito yung mga reasons. And bakit mahalaga na malaman ng mga tao, balik dun sa question mo na yung mind and body connection, no? Especially pagdating sa yung pag-process or paniniwala na nangyayari talaga to, hindi lang sa isip, kundi sa buong katawan talaga. Kasi I always tell my clients, your body is a big brain. Ang alam lang kasi natin na utak, yung naandito sa ulo natin. So pag binuksan mo yan, may brain dyan. But the thing is, we have the nervous system, and the nervous system are the brain cells, no? Neurons. So, ito yung skull brain. Pag bumabayan sa spine, kakalat yan sa buong katawan, brain cells pa rin yan. Only that, ang tawag na dyan, neurons or nerves. Pero, brain cells pa rin sila. Hanggang sa dulo ng mga daliri natin. Which means, again, itong buong katawan na to, isang malaking utak. Only that, this brain processes things differently compared to the brain cells that we have in our body. So, ito, nag-iisip, nag-i-interpret, nakakaalala ng mga images and words and stories. But our body, the body-brain communicates to us, and even our heart, we have a separate brain for the heart called the intrinsic cardiac nervous system. It communicates to us through sensations and emotions. Kaya kung mapapansin natin, pag ang tao merong unprocessed trauma from traumatic events in the past, hindi lang siya nagmamanifest through distorted thoughts or dysregulated emotions or mga behaviors na disorganized, hindi lang yun very physical. Diba? Very physical siya. Kunwari, mga migraines na pabalik-balik, sakit sa tiyan na hindi nawawala, yung GERD, diba? Gastroesophageal reflux na ginagamot naman, pero pabalik-balik, mga sakit-sakit sa katawan na hindi nga nawawala, na pag chinek ng doktor sa laboratory, wala talagang makita. Another, mga nahihirapang huminga, nadadala sa ER, parang once or twice a month, nadadala sa ospital, pero laging paulit-ulit na walang makita yung mga laboratories. So, saan yon? Kaya hanggang sa darating na lang sa punto na yung doktor ng client, sasabihin sa kanya, baka kailangan mo nang humingi ng tulong sa mental health professional. No? Very physical. Hindi natin pwedeng i-separate ang mental health sa physical health. Bakit po? Ang ating utak, pag binuksan yung ulo natin, makikita natin yung utak natin. That's very physical. That's the physical matter of our mental health. Only that, yung extensiveness ng manifestation niya, hindi nga lang sa thoughts, hindi lang sa emotions, hindi lang sa behaviors, kasama yung physical symptoms dyan. At yun yung madalas na overlook ng mga tao. Akala nila may migraine lang talaga sila. Akala nila hina-high blood lang talaga sila. Akala nila yun, yung mga typical na sakit na hindi, gastroesophageal reflux, akala nila ganun lang, acidic lang talaga dahil sa mga kinakain. Yun pala, meron pala siyang mental health origin.
Wow. Oh, that's parang it's mind-blowing to know. I mean, of course, matagal, I mean, siguro common knowledge na rin siya, pero hindi siya ganun na naha-highlight. Especially coming from you or from a professional na, oo nga naman, pag masakit ang ulo mo, sometimes inisip, ano ba, may tumor na ba ako or something. Pero yung pala, stress ka lang. So, di ba, parang minsan, kailangan, or actually dapat talaga, isaalang-alang yung every little thing na nangyayari sa'yo na baka yung nagtitrigger sa'yo sa trauma mo, sa pain mo. Wow, okay, that's a very good reminder, Miss LA. Next time na sumakit ang ulo ko, I will rethink. Oo, 'di ba? Pero I totally agree with you na hindi syempre yung utak, like it's very physical. Physical siya na eto mental pag-isip to, but wow, that's another way to look at it na eto palang mga like fingertips natin, they have their own
Yeah.
way of thinking.
Yeah, meron sila, even the heart and the gut, right? So there's the gut brain, there's the heart brain. The heart can think on, the heart can make decisions on its own. It's mentioned in the book.
Oo, totoo yan. Ako, marami akong kilala. But okay, so doon sa book, going back to the book, you offered practical tools. Marami-rami yon for emotional regulation and lifestyle shifts. Pero sige, bigay naman tayo ng isang practice na has been transformative in your own life. And why does it stand out for you?
Ang dami kong favorites, no? Ang dami kong favorites. Pero sige, I'll make it general. Kasi marami siya inside that. Yung anything, any technique that connects me to my body. Any technique that connects my brain, my skull brain, to my body brain, to my heart brain, to my gut brain. Any technique that will ground me inside my body. Favorite ko yung mga yon. Because it helps me to really embody my experience, to really understand where my symptoms are coming from. Physical ba talaga to? Or mental issue ito? Or emotional issue ito? And pag konektado kasi ako sa katawan ko, nagagamit ko yung buong intelligence na meron ako. Hindi lang yung logic. Hindi lang kung ano yung naandito, yung nag-iisip, yung stories, yung words, hindi lang yon. But also the language of my body. And the thing is, from what I have learned, 80% ng entire experience natin sa bawat situation ay nasa katawan natin. So, pag hindi ako nakakonect sa katawan ko, hindi ko maa-access yung 80% ng experience ko. So, I'm going to process or manage myself using only the 20% of what I have, which is yung andito. But if I know what's happening right here, if I'm connected to my body, then I will know how to manage as well.
Yan, gusto ko yan. As a pregnant woman, I am so connected to my body, and as we speak, I can feel my baby kicking. Pero Yeah, totally right. That's a good tool to have. Of course, for more tools, make sure to get a copy of the book. You can get it from Shopee, Lazada, our website, and from Amazon. Ayan. So Miss LA, we're down to our last question. Storytelling is woven through your healing approach. Was there a particular story or moment, either from your life or your clinical work, well, without spoiling much, that you
Mhm.
felt absolutely needed to be included because it captures the heart of your message?
Um, I have I have two things on top of my head right now, pero hindi siya very specific eh. Again, it's something na na-experience ko for the most part sa sarili kong journey. And then nakikita ko siya ngayon sa mga clients ko. I would like to be conservative na sabihin kong majority lang ng mga taong nagpupunta sa akin. Pero hindi siya majority eh. At least sa experience ko ha, sa mga clients ko, parang halos lahat ganun eh. Ang lahat ng pumupunta sa akin, pati yung experience ko rin, and yung nakikita ko rin sa mga taong kakilala ko, um, ang iisa sa ating lahat is we don't know, we don't know how to manage our emotions. Kasi ang gusto natin lagi kontrolin. So yon, una, we don't know how to manage our emotions. And pangalawa, hindi natin alam kung paano i-manage yung emotions natin because we don't know how to connect with our bodies. Akala kasi natin isip-isip lang lagi. Lagi tayong andito. So, naiiwan natin yung 80%. Again, naiiwan natin yung 80% ng experience natin. Hindi natin alam kung paano kumonect sa sarili natin. When we leave our bodies, we can't connect with how we feel. And when we don't know how to connect with what we feel, when we don't know what we feel, hindi natin hindi natin mapapangalanan yung experience. And pag hindi natin napangalanan yung experience, hindi natin yon mamamanage. So, it's a problem when it comes to managing the emotions and connecting with the self, with the body. So, yun yung dalawang nakikita ko talaga na problema ng halos lahat ng tao na nakausap ko and even myself dati.
Ayan. So I hope yung mga viewers natin na nanonood ngayon, they're able to learn a lot of things from the last half an hour that we have with you, Miss Ellie. These are all very eye-opening. And I'm sure with the book itself, mas marami pa silang matututunan. Please, for those of you watching, and you don't have to wait for you to experience mental health problems. Because sometimes, di ba, yung symptoms natin is hindi natin masyadong pinapansin, ini-ignore, akala natin normal lang yun.
Mm.
Pero before we get to that point, it's best to seek professional help na agad or at least read the book so that you will be equipped kung ano yung kailangan mong gawin once you get to that point. Ayun, Miss LA,
Yep.
this has been a very, very, well, amazing evening. You sharing your knowledge with us, your tips with us. So ayun na nga, I totally recommend for you guys to get a copy of the book. It's Time to Heal, a psychologist's realizations and healing practices inside and outside the psychotherapy room. Ayan. So Miss LA, where can we follow you?
Thank you, Miss Cindy. They can follow me through my TikTok accounts. It's holistic_healing psych, or they can simply look for Miss LA Psychologist. And then I also have Facebook account. It's the Holistic Healing Psychologist. And Instagram, that's Miss LA_RSI. So there, and even in LinkedIn, just look for my name. I would be there.
Ayun. Make
Ayun.
sure to follow Miss LA in every social media platform. We'll share the links as well in the caption. So there you go. Mas madali nang mahanap, and also the links to the book para mas madali niyong mabili. Ayun. Thank you so much, Miss LA.
Thank you so much and good luck sa'yo and sa baby mo. You take care of yourself. Maraming
Thank you
salamat.
so much. Okay, have a nice evening,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.